thinking of Liam. I can't believe I ran into Liam at the masquerade ball. He looked so nice, tall, handsome. I caught Jessica talking to Liam. I couldn't believe my own friend was flirting with my boyfriend. Well, my ex-boyfriend. She was flirting with him. Like, how could your best friend flirt with your boyfriend? I know that they're in District 11 and I'm in District 42, but she's my best friend. How could your own friend betray you like this? My heart was hurting. But Liam spoke to me, and we walked, and we had a dance. I can't believe he didn't know it was me, but I used my fake English accent. Oh, nice to meet you, Liam. Yes, it's lovely here. Yes, it's sad that the pandemic has caused all this, and that the sun fading has caused all of us to be locked in our homes. And Liam told me that he was just writing and working on some inventions with scientists because his family had money and they were backing some scientists to come up with something to figure out a way to get the sun not to be fading, and to come up with some cures. So I was really proud of Liam for working on that. I hope he comes up with that. Especially Eric next door. He doesn't sound good and he looks so pale. I walked his dog George today. I had to knock several times on his door for him to even get up and open the door. I was like, Eric, it's me, Emily. I'm here to walk George. Eric, you in there? Eric, are you okay? And I waited and waited. I heard him coughing. And finally, after a couple minutes, I heard him say, coming. And then he opened the door. And he had George on the leash, and I took George for a walk. It was so cold today. It's dark and gloomy. And the black soot is in the air. It's getting harder to breathe, but I had my breathing mask thanks to Singing Joe and his black market. So I walked George, and we walked. And we saw this bird dive into a little water, and he was bathing. He was trying to bathe the black soot off his wings. And as walking, I saw people shivering. I saw people on the ground huddling in little tents with little fireplaces. So many buildings are just boarded up. We walked all the way to District 4 today. It was a long walk. I was so tired. I looked. My mom said she would come to the gate at 1 o'clock. So I was waiting with George. There she was walking up. She walked slowly. She was older. I heard her coughing too. She looked and she said, I look skinny. I didn't want to tell her she looked skinny, but she looked real skinny. Her eyes were gaunt. Her skin was gray. She held out her hand through the fence, and we held hands. And she said, she gave me some apples. I haven't seen an apple in so long. And there was a banana, and she had a carrot. She made me some homemade soup with chicken. I asked how Dad was doing. He said he was in bed. He's real tired. And I just said I loved her, and said she loved me. And she said, we gotta stay strong and have hope. She said there's always hope. She was religious too. She said she prayed every day, and she knew that her Maker would take care of her, and one day she would be with her Maker. I always wondered about religion, because I prayed for a job. I prayed for the sun to shine. I prayed for money. I prayed for food. I prayed that I could get out of District 42. I prayed that Eric would get better. I prayed that I could be with my mom and dad again. But here we are in separate districts. He'll be shot if he go into another district. My mom had her mask on, and she didn't have a breathing apparatus. So I gave her my mask. She said, where'd I get it? And I said, I'm walking dogs now. I got a job. Proper job. She said, dog walking can get a mask. I said, well, he had a cousin in District 11 who gave it to him, and he had an extra one. So she took the mask. After I pleaded with her to take the mask, she wanted me to keep it. I gave her the breathing mask. I wanted her and my dad to have it. Maybe they could share it. I didn't want to be alone without my mom or my dad. It's hard to be in the world without someone to talk to, especially your parents, especially your mom. My mom had a broken accent. She's from the old country, Italy. She is so strong. She is tough. She's very tough. So I hugged my mother goodbye from the fence, and I saw a robot police coming through. We're not allowed to even touch the fence. Halt! Who goes there? Stand back. We had to stand 6 feet from the fence. We couldn't even go to the fence. And then George started barking at the RoboCop, and the RoboCop said I had to disperse. Disperse! Disperse now! I said goodbye to my mother. A tear went down my cheek. So I walked George home through the slushy snow, and I was walking. And then Adele saw me in his cab. He said, hey girl, what you walking all the way out here for? And I said, I wanted some exercise. He said, hop in. I said, you mean George can come in your cab? He didn't really like dogs in his cab. He wanted to keep his cab pristine. It's the only way to make some money. So I got in the cab with Adele, and George came in, and we drove. We saw some cops chasing some people. And Adele told me that he got to go to District 11 today. He said that the cabs are short in District 11, lots of people dying, so he got a special invitation to do a couple days of work at District 11. And he said he had a politician in his car, and then he had a mayor, even a celebrity. And they said that there's some alien ship hovering over District 11, and they said they didn't know what was going on, but it was alarming. He said he tried to pretend like he didn't hear people in the car. And I said, we were wondering about the alien ship. Were they here to destroy us? Are they here to save us? Maybe they have some technology to help us. Maybe they see how bad we are in this world. People hating people. If you're whatever politician you're voting for, if you're voting for the wrong one, people can shame you and bully you, and you can be an outcast. Even in your own district, people will outcast you if you don't vote for the right way, because everyone just wants food. It doesn't matter who's in charge. Only the politicians giving food. They're not giving us very much food with our rations, but everybody needed food. We needed heat. The two things we needed was heat, candles, and food, and clean water. And the only ones that were helping us is the politicians. They'd give us a measly ration, but people would vote for them just for a can of beans and a gallon of filtered water. Most of the filtered water was still polluted, but it was the best water you could get. Adele started telling jokes again. He'd tell jokes about his people from India. He'd tell jokes about Chinese. He'd tell jokes about everyone, males, females. Some of the jokes were good, but some of his jokes weren't. And we laughed and we talked. And he gave me a sandwich. He had a sandwich, a ham sandwich. I don't know where he got it, but he gave me half. There was lettuce and tomatoes and mayonnaise on it. I couldn't believe it. And George was looking at me. So I gave George a bite. And then I told him that we talked about the masquerade ball. And I said, yeah, there's something that Jaimin and Jaffa and Singing Joe were looking at the files and trying to figure out how to get out of 42. But as long as we don't have a number to get into District 11, they were trying to figure out a way to get us a number to get into District 11 so we could get out 42, because there's plans to exterminate the citizens in District 42. Ardell said that he heard that the The planes flying overhead are spraying stuff, slowly making us die slowly. The poisonous air fumes. And it's just not right. They said that the planes are flying to kill the bacteria that's causing these diseases in the low light on Earth. We always figured that's what they were doing. Any pesticides or anything you'd spray in the air would hurt the people. And then everything mutates. Everything mutates, viruses, bacteria. We're living in a world that's just wasting away. And Ardell and I were thinking, like, what if we could make contact with the alien and they would take us in their spaceship and we could just fly to a different country or a different planet. And then we wondered if we could breathe in the different planet. Some planets are really cold and have no air. You'd have to have an oxygen mask or something. But we figured there's got to be different galaxies, just like Earth, with green trees, oxygen, water. There's got to be a place out there. Ardell dropped me off at my house. I brought George home to Eric and went inside to my house and just couldn't help but thinking about Liam. He told me to meet him at the park at 1 o'clock on Saturday. How would I get into the park? Could I ask Glenn to send me on a drum to go in there? I had to see my boyfriend. I had to. I had nothing to lose. I'd have to get into District 11. To just have one more kiss. To be held. I don't know if I have another day on this earth. None of us know if we have another day. They're destroying the building next door to me. Every day a building gets demolished. They're too scared that all the dead bodies inside can cause more germs. They're chopping down trees, destroying buildings. I wonder if they're going to tear down this building. I don't know how much time I have in District 42, but we got to figure out how to get out. All I can think about is Liam. Love. Love is the only thing you live for now. And food. Night diary.